Okay, so we're making our next part. Gonna be the door top and bottom arm and the door right and left leg. So this is going to be, these parts are gonna look pretty close, pretty much the same thing. The main difference was their length. All right, the right one is 11 3/4 long, and then the top one is 10 1/2. So I'll just make one of the parts here, and then you can end up making it a second time. Now you only need to make one of each part. As you put them in the assembly file, you're going to be able to just duplicate them. So create both top and right, and then at the very end you can name them top/bottom, right/left, so you can keep them kind of distinct. So I'm going to start with the door top arm here. So looking at the plans, my front view, top view, then I got the right view, and of course the 3D view. So zooming in on this part, you'll see that this is going to end up being two separate pieces. You're going to end up gluing a scrap piece in there to hold the glass pane in. Now there's also holes in the miters here. That's going to end up being for dowels, another type of joinery. So we got to miter these and dowel them, and then we'll make a piece of scrap to glue in the glass pane. If you already watched the base, you're going to end up mitering them the same way, 45 degrees. And instead of adding a groove, you're going to add a little groove right here, or a rabbet. So we're going to notch that out. So what I'm going to do is draw the right view here. I'll make the rectangle, and then I'm going to cut out this spot right here, and then I think I'll also just I'll leave this guy, put him in at the very end. So let's jump into Onshape, and I'm going to start with a rectangle that's 3/4 by 3/4. So here's Onshape. Go to sketch mode. We're going to click on the front, and we're going to hit front on the cube. We're going to use our rectangle to make this rectangle stock. I'm going to put it a little bit further away so we can see what's going on. Okay, 0.75 by 0.75. Good. So we got the maximum thickness and width there. Now I'm going to put a second rectangle in to cut this out. This rectangle is going to end up being 0.75 minus 0.35, so that's 0.4. And then this measurement right here is 3/4 minus 1/2, so 1/4 inch. So from this corner, click it, drag it down. The first number that highlights is the top one, so let's do 0.25. The other one is 0.4. Good. So first sketch is done. Hit OK. All right. Now it's hidden, so let's rotate it. We're going to extrude this 10 1/2. Now if you were going to do the other one, so this is the top arm, so 10 1/2 for that longest dimension. The right one would be 11.75. So we're going to go 10 1/2. Good. So we got our main part of the arm done. It's time to miter it, and then we'll glue in a piece of scrap. So to miter this, I'm going to flip it upside down. Now we also want this side in. You don't want to actually see it. You don't want to see the edge of the glass pane. You don't want to see the scrap. So we need to end up mitering it so you won't see it when you glue it together. So flipping it over, that's going to end up meaning this corner will cut into the part. So it looks like it's this corner cutting in. Just making sure. Yep, we want this side, this exposed edge, to be long, just like this one. Where the grooves are on the inside, this cut is on the outside. So we're going to sketch again. Sketch this face. Grab our line tool. Click from corner, over, and then we're going to click from this corner, in. Okay, so they both should be pointing in. So when you add a second miter, it'll make 90 degrees. Now, I just guessed the angle there. It's not going to be correct. Use your dimension tool to force it to be. So this angle right there, okay, that needs to be 45. Same with the next one. 45. The last step with the miters is to finish sketch and extrude by removing. Okay, 1 inch is fine. Cut it away. There it is. So we got the first door part done. We got to add that scrap piece in to glue in the glass now. So let's rename this to door top slash bottom. Top slash bottom. Okay, then I'll make the right left one after. As far as the dowels go, we're also going to leave those out for the time being. So we're going to go top down, and we need to sketch a little piece of scrap in there. So if I look at this from the front view again, that scrap sits on the smaller side there. So we got to put it right in there. All right, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to sketch this plane. Okay, and I'm going to use a rectangle. And you can put just a small piece in there. Doesn't matter if it's 5 inches, 6 inches. You know what, I could make it 8 inches. Okay, but we don't want it to stick out. So if you're able to move it down, I would move it down. I think I'm just going to Command Z, leave it pretty small. Doesn't have to be super big, as again, it's just scrap. All right, what is the dimension of this right here? So just a 16th. We're probably gonna end up working with a 1/4 inch here. All right, so it looks like it just saved my length. I'm gonna end up deleting this piece here and trying again. Let's just make another rectangle. Sketch, rectangle. Okay, from here over, let's make that point. Oh, let's make that 5. And then 0.125. Okay. And then we're going to space this out. The total distance is a 1/4 inch. So let's just make this a little bit less, like a 16th. So 0.06. Okay. And that should be pretty good. Now again, I could make it longer. I can make it look prettier. I think I'm going to leave it for now. And now all we have to do is extrude it. So, extrude. Click that surface. And let's make this also an 1/8 inch, 0.125. Okay. And there it is. That's the last part of the door arm. Okay. So you would make another one. Yep, this scrap piece doesn't look very good. I encourage you guys to make it look better. You can use the dimension tool or make it larger or get it on the center point here. But I'm going to leave you with that. Make the next one, which would be the left-right. Thanks for watching.